right. Well, it's December 16th, 2020, Indie Home Solutions TV. I'm here with Eric Middleton and Lamar Fain. Is that right, Fain?
Oh, Fain.
Fain.
Yeah.
Lamar Fain. Both probably two of the best real estate agents I know here in central Indiana. Tell us a little about yourself. We'll start with you, Eric.
Okay, so I'm a managing real estate broker. I actually own my own company. I've been doing real estate for about 14, 15 years. And I really enjoy what I do because I like to help families and put smiles on their faces. And, you know, because it's a serious investment. And I want to be serious with them and make sure that I try to accommodate every need that they want. And I enjoy doing it. So I have about 4 real estate brokers that's part of my team, and we collectively work together. And other than that, I mean, you know, we just like to help families.
Just grinding every day.
Just getting out there, just working hard and trying to meet everybody's expectations. So a lot of my business come from referrals because I've just been doing it for so long. I treat people right, and they just refer me. So I don't do a lot of marketing, but I stay busy. I stay pretty busy.
Okay. Well, I know you do. I see you all over the place, man, doing good things. So,
Yeah.
Lamar, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, there's a lot of people at Indie Home Solutions, you know, 20,000 followers, and there's people that reach out to us all the time. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been real estate I'm one of the young bloods in the industry. So, I started probably about 4.5 years ago. So far, enjoying the industry just because, there's a lot of brokers that, they chase the paycheck, but at the same time, you need to chase the smile on the customer's face because once you actually connect with the customer, you get them done, they are happy, all parties are happy, the selling side and the buying side. That's when you actually get the most enjoyment, and that's where the referrals, like as he said, you get the referrals out of those clients. And so far as far as like working with Davis Homes and stuff, did several transactions with Davis Shabazz, and actually I think I remember one my first year in real estate. I sent them somebody. So just connecting with first time buyers and just getting them to the table. That's what I like the most about the industry, and I just love to help. And then being with High Garden Real Estate my 4 years, it's really helped catapult me in my business as far as the training.
Eric, you used a key term. You said expectations. And I think you can agree as well. That's huge.
It is.
Because so I think a lot of potential buyers, particularly maybe first-time home buyers, aren't quite sure unless you set real clear expectations with them as to the entire process. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean, over the years of just dealing with clients, that's very important to establish it at the very beginning. And keep in mind, a lot of people, first-time home buyers, they don't really know. So you want to educate them with the knowledge of knowing that, give them that realistic expectation, because you don't want to, have them out here. Because what I've noticed is anytime somebody leaves from a conversation they have with me, the first thing they do is go talk to somebody else. And then somebody else is telling them maybe something completely different or don't really even know the profession. So it's always important for you to establish it at the beginning. So then, they're not foreign to everything. And it just makes them feel more confident about wanting to buy a home and feeling like now they understand and got a clear picture.
You get a lot of people that go home, talk to their uncle.
Yeah.
Or their mama.
Yeah.
And what I find interesting is that a lot of times mom or dad or uncle or sister, somebody may have bought a house a year ago or 2 or 3 years ago, but so much has changed from the financing side of it. It changes so often that whatever the rules were when they have changed to today, and then they looking at you like you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's so true. I like that you said that, because I was dealing with somebody here recently. They bought a house, and it was probably maybe about 7 years ago. And he said, well, I bought a house before, and he thought he knew everything. Trying to come to find out, the lenders work way different now. Everything is, even dealing with like the building process. Now builders actually do things differently. And I guess it actually stems back from the housing market crashed because everything's more strict. They was like, man, I didn't think that I had to have all this, just to get qualified for a home.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, I wasn't even a real estate agent at the time when the housing market crashed, but, talking to other agents that actually experienced that, they actually told me like how it used to be and how sometimes you can actually get a house with like a 5-something credit score, 500, but now it's much more tighter. So, and having that initial meeting, setting the expectation with the buyer, having that, maybe like a buyer consultation is so important because
very important.
The buyer won't waste their time and the agent won't be wasting time to where they can actually actually see what they need up front. And then, maybe if the new construction route, if that's what you need up front, then let's go visit builders instead of wasting time dealing with these homes that's on the market and you probably won't even get what you need, versus new builds, you're going to get what you need out of that. So, and I just think that's just so important to actually set the expectation up front.
I think that a lot of times, buyers think they fire realtors, right? Oh, I don't want to work with that person or this or that and the other. But a lot of times, sometimes realtors have to fire buyers.
Oh, absolutely.
It's unfortunate. Yeah. Because maybe it's just not gelling right, or maybe I'm just not the guy for you. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's completely okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just think that setting proper expectations is huge.
Yeah.
In this market, you talked about a minute ago, not being enough houses. Tell us about the market. What's the Indianapolis market like?
It's so I was explaining to a buyer, it's like a bottleneck. There's not enough inventory out here to provide for all the buyers who's ready to buy. And it's unfortunate because buyers are really excited about becoming homeowners. But then when you get out in this market, because you have to compete so high and bid overpriced just to buy a house, it kind of takes the excitement out of them because, they are looking forward to it. I was explaining to one buyer that in 2017, I remember if you look at the data, there were, at the beginning of the year, it was like 15,000 houses for sale on the market. In 2017. In 2020, there were like 40-something hundred houses on the market for sale. You see the big difference.
Yeah.
And it's getting worse because next year is not going to be any better.
So what's the remedy? Is it new construction?
New construction. It is. It's new construction. And then I think eventually you'll see a lot of baby boomers downsizing some of their homes as well too. But definitely new construction is the route at this point. That, in my opinion.
Yeah, like just to piggyback of what he's saying as far as with there not being enough houses, usually what I do when it comes to a buyer, and let's just say they're submitting an offer on a home, and me as the agent, I know that this house is going to be hot. It's in that price point under 200,000, whatever, and actually some houses above the 200,000 mark. I even had somebody on a $500,000 home get beat out on an offer. So. But I tell them, I say, basically I give them probably 3 sample offers. And I say, hey, this is an offer that you can do on this house, and then here's another one. I'm not going to tell you what the offer as far as the number, but I'm going to tell you how it goes. If you have 10 buyers on this house, just focusing on price probably won't even get it. I have people who even get beat out just bidding over list price. Sometimes these sellers now, they actually want something that's minimal risk. So not just the price, then there's actually other buyers that are desperate enough to even get in the house to forego inspections. Yeah. And I don't ever tell a buyer to even do something like that. But I tell them, hey, out of these 3 choices, this is what you got. And then this last one is probably something that you don't want to do, but it's probably going to likely get you the house. But I say, hey, if you don't want to do any of these, and if you don't even want to even compete with all these buyers, you're on the price point to build. Let's just go to a builder to where you actually have all those warranties. And you'll actually have a house in the price point that you were intending to get, because like the old saying goes, it's cutthroat. Real estate is cutthroat. Just like you're praying to get the best deal, the seller is praying to get the best offer. So, something, at the end of the day, You're gonna have to decide up front what you want to do and what you want out of this.
So basically, you have to be very. You can't be indecisive in regards to this process. You need to make a decision. Because I find in the business that a lot of people, they like this house, but I like that house. I like this neighborhood, but I like that neighborhood. Right. But you have to make a decision.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's 24-hour decision. Like if you show a house that day, the decision will be made that day. You don't get to go home and sleep on it because next when you wake up, the house will be gone.
So
and then they say you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually had actually to kind of piggyback on that. So I had one guy. He was like, well, he said, can you tell me what the offer on this house? I told him, I said, look, I said, I don't want to be that guy to where I tell you something, then you say, hey, I'm actually paying too much for this house. Or if you got beat out, I'm still the bad guy, and you say it's my fault that you lost out on the home. So I let it be in your hands. And so there was one time where he actually made an offer, and he said, I'm just gonna probably bid below. I said, are you sure? I said, because you have all these other buyers on this house. He lost out on the home. After that, he told me, he said, well, Lamar, you should have told me what to offer. I said, well, I told you at the beginning I'm not gonna do that because we're not, as realtors, we don't want to be we're just trying to guide you into the process. We're not here to tell you what to do or anything. At the end of the day, it's your choice. Well, the next one, he actually begged me to tell him what to do. And so I told him the price, but I told him some other stuff that he could do. He still didn't want to do it. So at the end of the day, he did what he wanted to do. But you got to understand that we're not here to actually tell you what to offer or anything. Like, you have to just decide.
So let's take a first-time home buyer, for example. They don't know what to do. They need your guidance. They need your tutelage. How do you guide that person and say, they don't know what to offer? How do you help them?
I'm a numbers guy.
Okay.
So when I have conversations with my clients about how to bid on the property, I look at the price range, just like Lamar stated. If it's under $200,000, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, it's like a bottleneck. The average household income of Marion County is between $150 and maybe up to about $190. So so that's like saying the average buyer is qualifying for that same amount. So whenever a house come on the market within that range, everybody's rushed to that same house, right? And it's that bad. So what I always explain to them is I do comps, and when I show them numbers, then it gives them it gives them a clear picture to say, okay, well, I do need to be at this because it's right here. It shows it. And then in addition to that, I also tell them, hey, be it like you want it. Because if you got 15 buyers that want the same house you want, then of course that means it's a lot of competition. So it's a no-brainer, right? Be it like you want it. If we're going to overbid, you're going to pay your closing costs. Like you stated, I've never even mentioned anybody, not doing an inspection. I don't believe in that.
Right.
I've had plenty of offers to come to me on my listings with no inspections, and of course we took them because it benefits the seller, but not the buyer.
That's the expectation that agent set.
And so I just guide them along them lines and saying, hey, let's look at the numbers. Bid like you want it. Right. I try to advise them the best I can, but it's still their decision at the end of the day. Bottom line is their decision, but I will guide them to make a good, decisive decision.
So now I can see why you guys have both become powerhouse agents here in Indianapolis area, how you're just making it happen. People are knocking down your door, and I'm glad you were able to meet with us today and just kind of share these stories. If you could say one thing to a potential client, if I'm a potential client, what is that one thing that you're going to let them know that you're going to do throughout the entire process?
I would say probably, let me be your GPS. We're trying to get from point A to point B. Now, there's going to be a few obstacles that we're going to have to overcome. There might be a few roadblocks, but there's always a way around it as long as you follow the appropriate steps through the process. Don't be that buyer to where you overstep the professional. Maybe your loan officer is probably trying to, guide you into the best program. Maybe your agent is trying to guide you to making the best decision. Just try to make it as easy as possible on yourself and as well on your professional, because we're just here to help you. So I would say, you know, just let me be your GPS.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. You know, allow me to help you make the best decisions that there are out there, because this is a very competitive market, and we are the professionals. Keep in mind that we are the professionals. So that being said, you know, just be open-minded to how we lead you in the right direction, and you'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it may not happen overnight because it is a competitive market, but don't get discouraged. You know, just stick in there, stick and stay, because what I've also seen is just because it doesn't happen the first week or two, I always get my buyers in a home eventually. So it's just a matter of patience. It's a matter of just, you know, listen to what the real estate broker is telling you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, and we'll get you to the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
We always do.
Man, Eric and Lamar, appreciate you guys coming out today. And, you know, we try to do this every month. We meet with a couple of agents, whether it's real estate agents or mortgage brokers or builders or lenders, because that's what Indie Home Solutions is all about, connecting our followers with people, professionals in the business. I want to thank you guys, man. Peace, two
Thank
fingers.
you, man. Appreciate it.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right.